Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast discussion. We're going to talk about an unpopular opinion I have. Stop using streaming services as the bar for what's popular. This is something I can talk a lot about because I made this personal decision decades ago. Streaming services are a service that you pay a monthly fee for to get as much as you can. As much music, as much TV shows, stuff to watch, that kind of stuff. It's not the same thing as walking into a record store and buying a piece of vinyl. Not the same thing as walking into a video game store and buying a video game. Not the same thing as walking into a movie store and buying a movie. When you buy something, even if you're downloading it, you are voting with your money, going, this is something I want to own. This is my vote for this artist or whoever to continue. When you watch something or listen to something on a streaming service, you're just contributing to the streaming service. Let me ask you a question. Talking about movies and such, I'm a huge movie buff. When was the last time you saw a Netflix, Amazon, or other streaming service movie that you would have bought on Blu-ray or 4K when it came out, if you were so inclined? Is there a single movie you've watched on one of those streaming services you would like to own and put in your collection? Now, I can say that Hulu's done a couple. I liked their reboot of Hellraiser. I liked the Predator movie. Hulu's actually made, but those were also arguably theatrical movies that were made for a streaming service, which is a little different. There is a different bar for streaming services as far as movies and TV shows go. They're filmed differently, different budgets, way it's done, all that kind of stuff. It's different. But when you watch or listening to a streaming service, you are more inclined to just pick something that's already there, something that the algorithm sends you. It's not the same thing as going out and buying something or going over to your collection, pulling it out, unwrapping it, taking it out of the box, and putting it in to play, watch, or listen to. And I was watching Rick Beato last night, and he's doing his usual, here's the top songs on Spotify, and they're all crap. There was like one or two good songs. The rest of it was just garbage. And the same thing, I was watching one of my, another one of my reviewers who was talking about the top shows on Netflix. And I'm like, who cares? Yeah, there are millions of people subscribed to Netflix, but it's not exactly the bastion of creative entertainment. It's stuff to pass time, letting things roll one into another, binge watching the series and stuff. But just because I have a $15 to $20 subscription to a service and I watch some things on it doesn't mean those were my favorite movies of the week. It was on. It was okay. And like I said, that is a completely different mindset than somebody that goes over to their wall and picks out that vinyl, that CD, that Blu-ray, that 4K, that video game, and pops it in. Thinks about what they want to watch, what they want to listen to. Scientists and psychologists have figured out this is a completely different mindset. And people are getting tired of the streaming thing. Because I can't tell you how many times that I'll watch a kind of a cult classic movie and I'll tell my buddy about it. He'll go, that's not available on streaming. Oh, well, go figure. Another win for physical media. Now, I know that not every human can go out there and buy every movie they like or every CD or vinyl they like. It's expensive these days. I get it. I have cut way down on the amount of movies that I collect. But I already have a massive collection from the beginnings of VHS to DVD to Blu-ray. If I see something on sale that I want, I'll pick it up. $5 or $10 things are all over the place these days, whether it be Walmart or a used store. And if it's something limited edition, I'll spend money on that to get. I got a couple movies recently from Australia. There's only 6,000 copies of the entire world of these two movies on 4K. Not that they're my favorite movies of all time, but I really wanted to see them, and it's a collector's item to be one of 6,000 people on the entire planet to own that 4K. Same thing with music. People on streaming services going, why isn't this band on here? Why did this band pull their music? I'm like, I've got thousands of CDs. I'll just pull the CD out and listen to the album. It's a different thing. So why do I don't think we should use it? Because it's not accurate on what's good. People listen to Spotify because they pay for it and they just let it play. The same thing with Netflix. They pick one or two things, but most things, it was recommended to them and they just watch it. When it's over, it's forgettable and they don't care and they move on. But we watch these things and listen to these things because we're paying monthly fees for them. That's not the same thing as plunking down money to buy an album and so Rick Beato and others would probably say, well, what do you want us to use? Well, there's still radio charts. And at most radio stations, there are still program directors who decide what they play. I have a rock station in Kenai, Alaska. We don't play everything that's on the active rock chart. Some of those songs just don't fit what we do here, but I'm making a human decision, not an algorithm. I listen to the songs and decide whether or not they fit what we do here. There's a lot of boy band sounding, overproduced, overly auto-tuned crap that's getting millions of spins on Spotify under their rock chart, but they're not getting played on any radio stations around the country. I get things all the time from promoters and PR people. It says, this group has 2 million plays on Spotify. I go, and who cares? How many spins do they get on real radio stations? How many albums, singles did they sell on iTunes? I know that sales are down, but that doesn't mean we go to other things. Like I have a big problem with AI these days. They have forced it into some of my search engines. And down at the bottom, there's a little disclaimer. Results could be wrong. Double check. What? I don't want to use a service that could be wrong. Google used to be, if you were looking up something, it would give you all the options of what you could find under that topic, and then you would decide what you'd read. These days, an AI picks it for you, and it says, well, these could be wrong too. So I don't need that. I don't need any of that. Like I've said before in an AI podcast, I use AI in my drone software. It helps me fly a drone. I use it in my editing software to help with music and things like that. But I don't create anything with AI. I don't create pictures, music, podcasts, whatever. This is my real voice. I put this together with real music. I edited it. I put it up on the web. I did all of it. Nothing is automatic about this when I do these. And I think that's part of the art of it. And I think we're going to go back to that. The other day, one of my favorite Opeth albums, it was put out 20 years ago. I listened to it in high definition, high resolution, 5.1 surround sound, just turned it up and spent 45 minutes listening to one of my favorite albums. When was the last time you did that? When was the last time that you picked a movie out that you wanted to watch? Not just was on the streaming service or something that was on a wish list, but something like you really wanted to watch this movie and you found it, pulled it out, and watched it. A lot I hear, water cooler talk. Hey, what's new on Netflix this weekend? I don't want to work that way. I still go to the movie theater, and if I like the movie, as I walk out of the movie theater, I pre-order the disc if I want to add it to my collection. Did that with several movies in the last year. That was I spent the money to go see it, to try it out, and then I like it. Yeah, I'll watch it again. Other things I went and saw, I saw once in the theater. I don't need to own that one because once was enough. But again, I'm making that conscious decision with my money, and that goes into the box office charts every week. I would say the box office charts are more accurate than just about any other chart we have these days, because they went way down with people not watching movies, and it's starting to come back up. But it really is just a count of how much money. And I would like to go back to sales charts for radio. And I know we don't have that many record stores anymore, and we don't have a whole lot of record sales anymore. But all of that's coming back. Physical media is coming back. DVDs are up, Blu-rays are up, CDs are up. All of it's up. That's coming back. People are going to vintage shops, used shops, and finding things because we're tired of being fed stuff that's mediocre. There have been occasional good things on Netflix and Amazon. I'm not saying everything is crap, but again, would you want to own any of it? There's a giant box set of Stranger Things coming out. I think that will probably sell well, but I haven't seen a single one of them. There's a special edition and then a regular edition. They're not sold out on any of the stores, whereas other things like the industry is having a hard time keeping up with sales because they're going back up. When Blu-ray and 4K sales dropped a couple years ago, they cut down on the amount they manufacture. Well, now that things are coming back up, we saw in the last year a number of classic films from Tombstone to several others that came out, went out of print, came back, went out of print, came back. eBay people were having a field day with it. Other people were getting frustrated because they couldn't get a copy of it. And these were not limited edition. These were just the version of the movie, but they didn't make enough. It was hard to get the Kill Bill movies. It was hard to get the James Cameron movies when they first came out because, again, they just didn't make enough of them. All of the production plants are overworked. Vinyl plants, CD plants, Blu-ray plants, 4K plants, they're all overworked because, well, now they're starting to increase the orders for things. And if things are selling out, they want to make more of them, obviously. So I think we're going to go back the other way. A lot of people have asked me about AI and technology, and I just say that I worked in radio in the mid-'80s when by the late 80s things were getting too overproduced and too robotic. we had grunge and metal come in. Metallica and Pearl Jam changed that. They went back to the basics: guitars, bass, drums, amps, and flannel shirts, and no production, none of that, none of the slickness that we're starting to get again today. I have these guys and gals who consider themselves rock bands, but the song is produced like a pop song. I can't play that next to Van Halen, Godsmack, or Led Zeppelin. Do you think about this when you record these songs? So anyway, the unpopular opinion was stop using streaming services as the bar for what's popular. It's what's popular on that service, but say that. Because I don't have a Netflix account. The only reason I have a Spotify account is because my podcasts are on there, but I don't use it to stream music. So my votes for things on those services doesn't count. I also stopped watching Amazon Prime when they started adding commercials to everything. I'm not going to pay a higher tier when I'm already paying for a service to remove commercials. I'm sorry, I'll just stop watching the service. I have enough movies and TV shows on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K that I could watch different things every day and not run out for a couple years. So anyway, long story short, I'm not saying everybody has to have a giant collection, but can we reviewers and PR people just stop with the, oh my God, it's millions on Spotify, it's millions of views on Netflix? Because a lot of us don't care. Some do. Some love those services. I, for one, and I'm in the industry, I don't care. It doesn't mean the people who pay for Spotify are not the people listening to the radio on the way home. They connect their phones to their cars and they listen to their Spotify because they're paying for it. Anyway, long story short, what's real is going to last. What's fake and AI and all that stuff is not going to last. It's not. AI is not there yet. And the whole idea of using these streaming services as a bar for what's popular, unless everybody in the United States was on that service, it's not accurate. And when you have a few million people, but we have 300 million people in the country, you're just extrapolating that this is the most popular Netflix show because it got 75 million views last weekend. So what? There wasn't anything else on that they hadn't seen. Working at a video store in the 80s, by the way, when video stores were still around, there was a group of people who would come in every Tuesday or Wednesday, new release days, to find out whatever was new. They had literally rented everything in the store, and they were only interested in the new releases each week, and they would get them first. We had wish lists and stuff. Well, that's the same thing as happening with these streaming services. People have watched everything on Netflix. People think they have listened to everything on Spotify. So whatever's new is what they're going to gravitate to. And that's going to hit the top of the charts because that's why. I don't think that's a bar. The bar is when people spend money. The people is when they actually go to the movies. That is the bar of quality because people are paying for it. When you're paying for a service, you're paying for the service. When you buy an album, you're paying the artist. So anyway, stop. I'm not saying anything wrong with streaming services. I'm just saying stop using them as a bar for what's popular because as far as I'm concerned and millions of other people, it's not. I'm Scott. I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts on the way. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.